Welcome to the live stream, which is gonna be another plan with me, because I think I'm just slowly accepting that as much as I want to pretend that I'm uh, an economics channel, really the planner videos I do get way more views, and so we're just, I'm gonna like increase the ratio of planner videos. Next week we are definitely doing a finance related episode though. I'm gonna have a guest on to talk about um, building an investing portfolio when you don't really support capitalism. So I think it's gonna be a really fun topic. But today we're just gonna hang out, chill, fill in my planner. We got the overhead camera, and we got my Hobonichi cousin and my Jibun Days. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about Olympic figure skating. I mean, there isn't like a ton to talk about because the Olympics just started. But, this is the time once every 4 years where people care about my sport for about 2 weeks and have extremely strong opinions about something that they generally don't know a lot about. And I am by no means an expert, but I know a lot more about figure skating than the average person who has opinions about figure skating for the Olympics. So we'll just chat about that while I fill in my planner. The main things that I will be working on in my planner. So I have a pretty like functional planning style, but I do like a little bit of stickers. I have like a lot of washi tape. A lot of washi tape has been recently obtained. I'm actually banned from buying any more washi tape. I never thought I would be the kind of person that has as much washi tape as I do, but I kept justifying getting it because I ship out a lot of like packages for Oh My Dollar challenges and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's so cute on the packages. I really just need to make my own Oh My Dollar washi tape. So the main thing I'm going to be planning for, other than some washi tape, is some very functional planning because I am taking the Series 65 financial licensing exam in less than a month, and I have lots of studying to do between then and now, and so there's just a lot of planning that needs to be done around that, so that's mostly what we're going to do. It looks like there's some people here that are ready to plan. That's great. I'm excited to see you all. Guthrie finally made it to a live stream for once. Well, Guthrie, I'm pretty sure you're actually here for the economics content, so I'm sorry to disappoint you that there will be almost none of it today, but I'm glad to see you here. Also, if you have struggled to remember that the live streams are happening, we set up a new thing. Hopefully it's going to work. We just set it up. It's called Text Crew, and it is at textcrew.ohmydollar.com. And essentially, because you cannot trust the algorithms to actually show you my Instagram posts, my tweets, my YouTube notifications, even if you have that bell turned on for YouTube, like it's hit or miss whether or not it notifies you that I've gone live. Patreon, a lot of people don't check. So we now have SMS notifications, which you can sign up for regardless of your country. So the downside is if you are in a very different time zone than I am, you may end up getting text messages in the middle of the night. So I'm just going to warn you against that. If you're in Europe, you might not want to sign up for the Text Crew notifications. But I'm essentially doing that because I'm a little bit more in control about whether or not you see that. I promise not to incessantly text you, but yeah. Anyway, if you are excited about that. Guthrie says, oh, actually excited for the planning stuff. That's great. I'm glad that we were doing that. I'm late. Are we watching, planning, talking Olympics or finance? We're doing all of the above. Actually, the only thing I think we're not doing is finance. We do have a donut again today. So this is today's donut, which the staff at the donut shop were very surprised because it is very chocolatey, but it just is so decadent looking. It's cannoli filled, and it has pistachios, and then it has like orange bits on it as well. And I think it's like a totally filled, it's like filled donut. So I probably won't love it because it's chocolate, but we'll give it a shot. Also, We are just 2 live streams away from the 100th Talking Dough and Eating Donuts live stream. So we're going to have some kind of special celebration for that. I'll probably be eating multiple donuts. That's all I can really think of. But if you have any good ideas about how to celebrate the 100th live stream, because when we started these, we thought, oh, this pandemic's going to last like 3 weeks. So we'll just start doing the live streams every week. And yeah, now we're on the 100th one. So that tells you a lot about how the past 2 years have been going. Remember when we all thought that we were just going to like stay home? I shouldn't say we all. I'm sure epidemiologists did not in any way believe this, but like there was this moment where I think we naively went into the initial like lockdowns for places that had them, just being like, oh, this is just, we're all in this together. We're all just going to be together home for 2 weeks. Anyway, I am, not a lot great things have come out of the past 2 years, but one of the things that has been really nice is it has been very fun to create a little community on the live streams of people that are excited to, theoretically talk about finance. But as far as I can tell, I've just become a planner YouTuber. So Dean says, we're also not actually skating ourselves right now. Other than that, all bases are covered. Yeah, I am not currently skating. I was actually thinking, I have not posted anything on my YouTube channel about skating and like going back to skating, but I do have a lot of footage from the last 3 years since I went back to skating. I came back to skating after 15 years off in mid 2019. So I didn't even make it to a full year of being back at skating before all the rinks shut down. But I have filmed a lot over the past couple years, and I was thinking about like maybe I should do like a skating progress video while everybody cares about skating, and I don't know, maybe capitalize off I don't know if the YouTube algorithm would send people to my channel for skating, but at the very least it might be kind of interesting to people while they're thinking about skating, because they will stop thinking about skating relatively soon. Craig says, maybe you can talk about Camilla in the skating segment. Okay. Incredible. So I guess this begins Lily at least does a little bit of ranting about Olympic figure skating. So Camilla is a once in a lifetime talent. She is the top Russian skater. She's actually really only been on the international scene for a year. And she holds now every single world record for ladies skatings. She is phenomenal. She does quad lutzes, which quad lutzes and quad flips like they're butter, and like very few other female figure skaters even have a single quad. Her triple axel she does with her freaking hand over her head. It's very hard in figure skating to do jumps with your hands above your head, and you get extra points for that. And she does like every jump with her hands above the head. She is also like very artistic and a prima ballerina. She's phenomenal. The thing that a lot of people are very worried about is her coaching team is the Tuporitsa coaching team, otherwise known as Iteri. Iteri has coached, she's a Russian coach. She's coaching literally all of the top Russian skaters. So there's a very strong likelihood that the women's podium at the Olympics will be entirely swept by Russian ladies. Unless something goes wrong, like one of them catches COVID, which has been taking a lot of people out of the competition, or they do have a surprising short program, or, there's a couple other competitors from other countries that may be able to eke out a bronze. But the Russian ladies are really an unstoppable force, and Itari has actually coached the past 2 Olympic champions, and she gets a lot of criticism because there's kind of thought to be an Iteri cap out age. Like a lot of her female figure skaters, once they hit 17, they'll come on. They're these young teenage proteges. They're doing things that nobody has seen before. And then by 17, they're completely burnt out. They end up retiring. They've been replaced by a newer, shinier, younger Tuporitse little teenage girl. And, it's harder to get out to place in the top 3 at Russian nationals than it is for most of these Russian ladies to place in the Olympics will be, because Russian nationals is stacked. The 10th lowest lady in Russia is better than most of the US women. And US and Japan are essentially the 2 competitive ones, although we had a really great showing from one of the Canadian ladies in the team thing. So what's happening in the Olympics right now? Olympics started this week. For the past 3 Olympics, we've had, I think 3, might have been 4, I think it's 3. We've had this event called team figure skating, which is like the most confusing. It only exists for the Olympics, I think, as a way to get figure skating more airtime, because it is the most popular of the Winter Olympic sports by a lot. And I strongly suspect that they added the team event because figure skating, the International Skating Union, has been pushing the Olympic Committee for years to add synchronized skating, which is truly actual team skating. It's also called precision skating. It's where you have like maybe up to, I think the max is 30, but 30 figure skaters all skating together in synchronicity. It is mesmerizing and gorgeous, and the International Skating Union has been pushing to get synchronized skating included in the Olympics for years, but the International Olympic Committee is very concerned about that because of the cost of bringing as many skaters are on a synchronized skating team. And the thing about the way the team event at the Olympics, which it literally doesn't exist in any other competitions, it only exists in the Olympics, is that it is composed of skaters who are already there to compete in their individual disciplines, of which there are 4 at the Olympics: ice dancing, pairs, men's and women's. And they essentially, it's a country specific competition, and you can kind of change out which skaters you have compete in it. They have a really complicated way that they determine which countries are allowed to compete in the team skate. So only 10 countries do that, despite the fact that a lot more than 10 countries usually compete at the Olympics total. I think there's 149 spots for figure skaters at the Olympics, and a lot that goes to a much higher variety of countries. It's 18 max per country than just the 10, but which countries are chosen is based on international rankings. It was a little more screwed up this time because one of the competitions that they were going to use was canceled due to COVID. So the past 2 years in skating have been just like, here's all leading up to the Olympics, except that key competitions kept getting canceled. US Nationals here was essentially a super spreader event, and it was at the height of Omicron. It was right in the beginning of January. And because of that, a ton of skaters had to pull out during the competition because they caught COVID. So yeah. My mom asked if she can show my old videos. No. Aaron says, send them to me and I will sneak them on this live stream. Cheryl says, I might have to get them transferred from VHS. This is my saving grace here. Oh no, there's lots of coordination going on here. Does anybody have anything that doesn't involve me having to show up? My old skating videos. I would actually like to dig up some of those, but yeah, anyway. So the team event is the only thing that's happened in the Olympics. That was a long explanation of what the team event is, but essentially they do qualifying rounds of short programs, and then they cull from 10 countries down to 5 countries, and the top 5 countries, based on the rankings of all of the skaters in the qualifying short program round, will then go on to do the free skates. And they might actually have different skaters doing the free skates. But some of the countries that actually qualified for the team event had to have skaters pull out. So, for example, Germany actually had a shot probably at a medal in the team event. And then, unfortunately, they lost their pair skaters due to positive COVID tests. So there's just a lot of complications happening with this, and the team event was it's already like barely held together by tape as far as like the structure of it. So that's where we're at. We right now it seems pretty likely that the team event final standings as far as who is going to get the medals is very likely to be what everyone predicted it would be, which is that Russia will get the top spot, US second, and Japan would get the bronze medal. That being said, we still have 3 more events to do of the free skates of the top 5 countries that are there. So, you know, it could be anyone's game. It couldn't really be anyone's game. It most definitely is Russia's game, but the silver and the bronze are still up for debate. There's a possibility the US doesn't make the podium at all, but that seems pretty unlikely at this point. So, yeah, it's really just come down to it. The other thing too about the way the team event is structured, so in figure skating, usually you do 2 programs. If you're in ice dancing, you do something a little different. You do a compulsory dance and then you do a free skate. But the 2 programs are taken together, and your final score is the sum of those 2 things. In the team event, your score only matters in relative to how the rest of the skaters do, and then the rankings all add up to the country rankings, just based on their rank. The actual points don't matter at all. So for some of these skaters, it's functioning as just a nice warm-up, a chance to try something on Olympic ice, especially because for most of the Russian ladies, I think all of the Russian ladies, they haven't skated on Olympic ice before. They're all quite young. So yeah, it should be kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see, but that's what's going on with skating. Camilla, it's hard to express just how talented she is, but I honestly think that there's something to be said for looking at some of the people that aren't the tiny 15-year-olds that are almost definitely going to win. It's interesting to look at like the men's skating is actually like a true battle. It could be Yuzuru Hanyu from Japan, who would be getting his 3rd Olympic gold if he manages to capture gold at this. He is a skater in a class by himself as well. He's trying a quad axel, which no one has ever landed in the history of time. He got it. He did it at the Japanese Nationals, but it was downgraded. I'm not positive if it was under-rotated or hand down or something like that. It wasn't totally successfully landed, but the fact that he even attempted it is shocking. There was a lot of people who really didn't believe a quad axel was even possible. So yeah, and then against that is Nathan Chen, who everybody thought, he's an American skater. Everybody thought Nathan Chen was going to win the last Olympics. They thought he was the most likely competitor to win the last one against Yuzuru Hanyu, and then he ended up coming 5th. He just kind of bombed. And then he's been unbeatable for the past 3 years. He has lost in 1 competition to actually the other American man who's come. He's lost only in 1 competition since that last Olympics. So he's really, really focused on his training. And if you've watched any of the US coverage, you will see that Nathan Chen's face is on everything. Like every commercial is Nathan Chen in the US. They're constantly doing like spots about him on NBC. It's kind of like aggressive. So I guess he's our only hope. So how many rotations are in a quad axle? Explain rotations and jumps. So a quad axle actually is 4.5 rotations, which is one of the reasons people didn't think it was possible. That is a lot. That's all you really need to know. Generally, all jumps have the amount of rotations that it says in the name. So if it's a triple Lutz, it has 3 rotations, except the axle. The axle always has 1 more half rotation in it, which is why it is the hardest jump of each category. So the axle is the hardest single, the double axle is the hardest double, the triple axle is the hardest triple, and the quad axle has not yet been attempted of all of the quads. So it is very interesting to see. Oh, Cheryl says he is on with dinosaurs. Yeah, seriously. Nathan Chen is like, he's in this like surreally weird, I think it's like a promo for Jurassic Park, but it looks like a fever dream of a commercial. He's in like 3 commercials with dinosaurs, as far as I can tell. Should we get to planning? Does anybody have any other skating questions? I think it might be time for the planning part. You land axles in the opposite way you started a jump. You land axles the same way that you take off from the same way you land every other jump. But yeah, you take off forwards, with which other jumps you don't take off forwards. So there's one other jump that looks to people. Well, there's 2 other jumps that look to people, to the untrained eye, that you take off forwards. But actually, you might just start in that position, but you rotate on the ice by doing a 3-turn or something before you actually take off. Axle is the only one. It's the easiest to tell because it's the only jump that you go in facing forwards. So I guess you do technically land it the opposite way that you start it, but you wouldn't be able to tell an axle from another jump based on the landing. The way you can tell is that you're taking off forwards. And it's quite a beautiful jump when done well. So, and once again, Camilla can do triple axles, which she has now done only the 5th triple axle done by a woman at the Olympics. Her right out of the gate. And Camilla can do a triple axle with her hands above her head. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I will also say that the silver medalist from Japan he did phenomenally on the team skate, men's free skate. He won it. He is spectacular. And if either Nathan Chen or Yuzuru Hanyu screws up, he could be a gold medalist. So it's very interesting. He's also 18. He's pretty young, not as young as some of the women are. But he is very petite, and he just looks adorable because he jumps so high, but he's like 5'3". So, yeah, should we dive into doing the planning? So this is what this week looked like. And I have a lot of tasks that are going to have to be carried over. The week prior, as you probably could tell by my live stream that I did last week, I was feeling really poorly last week. So I'm like still kind of catching up from how like I caught up a lot this week, but I have a lot of tasks that are moving over. But the big thing that happened this week is that I actually did book my exam for March 3rd. This is a Series 65 exam. And because of that, I have like at least 100 hours of studying I want to do still between then and now. And I want to take a bunch of mock exams. And so, I'm really aiming to do a ton of studying between then and now, but I do still have to do my regular work and skating and stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess we'll just fill this in. And this is my Hobonichi cousin, which is kind of I do the weekly spreads here. I have previously solicited like feedback because it turns out that this is a very good daily to do planner for me. Nothing fancy. This is just the Jibun Days planner. And it works very, very well for me. I love the split layout where you make to-do lists because I love lists. And then you can also put like little notes about how you spent the time on the other side. Worked super well for me. And because of that, I was really struggling actually to use my daily pages in my Hobonichi. But a lot of people have given interesting feedback about like how to use this. And a lot of them were like, just don't stress. So I've been doing just a lot of messy planning, taking notes, occasional journaling. I don't do a ton of that. But my philosophy has been like, if there's anything that, like this is more studying. Like I definitely have some study notes in here. This was last week's live stream, I believe. Or 2 weeks ago live stream where I was trying to explain why we have inflation. And that has been like pretty good. I also haven't been precious about doing everything on the day that it happens. So like if if I have a blank page, I might use it later, and it's kind of been working there. My mom says, add another Olympic watch with your mom. Yes, this is a very good point. I actually do want to put the full Olympic schedule in here because it's like a full-time job to figure out when to watch the Olympics right now, because since it's in China this year, they are 16 and a half hours off, I believe. And as I run into when I am in China, it is, time zones are very confusing because there's like the combination of the time zone difference and when the live schedule is happening, but then also when it's broadcast in the US, because a lot of the competitions are happening at like 3:30 in the morning in the US, so they're not broadcasting them live. So yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to put the full schedule in here. I think I'll just make a little side. Yeah, let's just go for it. Well, actually, we have to put the washi tape down first. The most important. Do people have their planners out? Are they ready to go? So this is what I mean by, I have so much washi tape it's actually spilling over into the net. I had to create a new washi tape one. What is a good washi tape for this week? It's really out of control. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to do a space cat. Guthrie is ready for the planning. This is good. It's like, I don't want to talk about the Olympics. All right. And here is my space cat. Trying to find the end of my washi tape is always a challenge. Ooh, this is one of those really papery washi tapes. It's kind of hard to peel off. There we go. Well, Guthrie, welcome to actually making a live stream. It's definitely been, it's there, it's a low key way to end your Sunday. We may actually be moving these to 4 p.m. Pacific on Sundays. One, because YouTube said that more people would attend based on their smart computer brain or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do this as like a header. Doing a great job. Haven't actually started a single bit of the actual planning here. There we go. All right, that's a header. Now, I used to not have so many stickers. It's really gotten, I'm definitely on a no more stickers can be obtained sort of situation going on now. Does that look good? Not really. Why do I need stickers that say the word skating on them? I don't know, because I don't have particularly good handwriting. Now, let's see if we can actually figure out when skating is on air. Well, my router shuts down at 9 p.m., so I end up going to bed. What does one do without tech? Yeah, you know, it's quite the question there. My favorite washi is Space Penguins. I got it at a comic convention from the artist, but I don't remember her name at all. Space Penguin sounds awesome. I actually have multiple space cats now, which I justified by getting them for Aaron. But now I just have them. So I like these little alien kitties though. Now skating Olympics schedule. I think I might have to wake up at 3 a.m. if I want to watch some stuff live, which is kind of nice because it means it won't interfere with other stuff in my life. But I don't want just today. Someone on Twitter put a post that was like, researching this genuinely felt like a full-time job, but I think this is your figure skating broadcast schedule for the 2022 Olympics. Oh, look at that. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Skating. Sunday 12/6 is the what's starting tonight, which I'm going to watch after this live stream. And then we have men's short at 7:15 tomorrow. So we have 2/7 men's short. 7 15 p.m. Then I'm actually surprised that they didn't place all of them at a time that is more like the ones that are at like 3 a.m. I'm super surprised that the Olympics wasn't strategizing based on like broadcast time in the US. I know they'll just like rebroadcast it, but there's so many ways now to be able to watch live. I paid $4.99 for the Peacock app so that I could get it. Because it's all like one of the problems that in the past with the Olympics is like NBC has such an ironclad contract on it. And it was like impossible if you didn't have cable, even though NBC is a broadcast network here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually really surprised that it didn't work kind of better at doing all of that. So is this an ET? Oh, this is a central time zone. So 5:15. Thanks whoever did this research. Okay. Men's free is on 12/9 at 5:30 p.m. And then next will be rhythm dance on 12/12. Does anybody else really struggle with spelling the word rhythm? I do every time, and I definitely spelled it wrong. Oh, it's because it's got like the H in not the place. I just made it worse. I should have just left it. Okay, the rhythm dance is at 5 a.m. So it's at 3 a.m. USA. It's live. We'll see if I am going to wake up on a Saturday at 3 a.m. to watch this. That seems fairly unlikely, but Dean's up in the middle of the night, so, you know. Why is rhythm such a hard word to spell? These are my real questions. Okay, and then the free dance is on 12/13. And is it also at like 3 a.m.? No, that one's at a reasonable Wait, what time? Yeah, 5:15 p.m. Okay. There we go. Have the skating schedule there. Not saying I did a beautiful job. Also, my pen that I really like is completely wearing out now. And it's getting harder and harder to write with. Like, it's like less and less sharp. And I'm a little frustrated by that. I have this other... This is the pen that everybody recommended for the Hobonichi Techo. It's the Sarasa Zebra Mark-On pen. And it's one, I got it in 0.4, and I actually think it's a little too thin for these. Anyway, let's do the to-dos over here. Should I get a little header of some sort? Something to look cute for the to-dos? Latitude says, I'm here to look at the Hobonichi. Thank you for arriving. I've lured you here with my fancy planner, clearly. All right, let's do the header. Does this match? What do we think? Does that match? It looks kind of like the right color. These are the real questions we're asking. Yeah, we'll use it as a header. It's close enough. To-dos this week. So what has to carry on? I need to invoice, workshop, planner meeting, agent meeting, video edit. I actually did finally shoot a video, and I just have not finished editing it because I really got in my head about it. Podcast promo. That is done. Okay. And then I need to do the midpoint exam for studying. And what other things do I need to do? I need to do my German homework. And what did I put on the list that isn't yet done? Oh yeah, I still have to mail Snackuary stickers. People were a little slow at getting their stuff in, so I have to do that. And those are really the main focuses, I think, this week. Everyone tell Lily to finish editing her video that she already filmed. I started editing. I'm just bad at this stuff. I just get in my head about it. It looks like the women's will be very early. Why? Why would they take literally the most popular one? Well, I take it back. I know why. Because Russia, it will fall during prime time in Russia. And for women's, that's probably why. Also, the host country gotta, I'm sure, do a lot of the picking for the schedule. And I'm sure China wants to be able to watch it on primetime too. And they're pretty close in time zone with a lot of Russia. I mean, obviously not all of it. There's 11 freaking time zones in Russia, so you can't really coordinate to Russian time zones. But yeah, if it's early West Coast US, then it would be prime time for a lot of Russia, for Western Russia. So, which is where the majority of the Russian population lives. Latitude says, everyone really recommends the Pilot Juice pens to me, but I think they were the worst things ever. Sounds like the same thing with the Mark-On. Yeah, people also like the Pentel Energel pen. I had the other thing happen this week. You can actually see it happen in the middle of my pages. So this is my like daily driver pen. It's my fountain pen. I bought this in March 2020 when, you know, I was trying to support one of the local businesses, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll get into fountain pens. So you can actually see me run out of like ink and have to switch. And I'm now down to my last, I've gone through an entire thing of cartridges because I do cartridges. I don't have the coordination to do dip ink. I had purple cartridges, and then I'm down to the blue one that came with it. Yeah, it is a very cute little fountain pen. So I need to actually go get ink. I don't know what color I'm going to do. I've had purple for 2 years now, almost 2 years. So, but also an entire box lasted using this every day for 2 years. So, pretty decent one on there. I just like writing with the fountain pen, but it doesn't really work for these pages. Okay. So we've got the to-do. Now let's draw a couple little graphs. So most important graph is going to be studying. Since I'm not a very good letterer, last week I tried this other tactic, which is just if you space out the words, but then I kind of smeared them for the colors that I put in. So I don't know if it really worked anyway. All right, so this one will be a skating. And then I'm just going to put generally an oh my dollar. Oh, I also need to do presentation. So I am giving a presentation, and I have not done all the slides because it's on taxes this year. And taxes have changed a lot, so I need to, and they're still passing rules about it. So I do a, one of the nonprofit partners that I work with is a foster youth group. So youth that are ward of the court, foster kids, or age out foster youth, meaning they've turned 18, but they're still, they still get some special status with the state as far as like going to school until they're 25. And so that's one of the groups that I teach financial literacy to. Anyway, they asked me to do a specific, like, how to do your taxes for the first time for the youth in there. But Oregon is still, like, passing laws in the legislature around taxes where foster youth are actually going to be getting back money on their Oregon taxes because we actually have, like, a pretty high... They essentially created a refundable credit just for foster youth. So anyway, I need to do some work to make sure I know all the laws before I'm going around. I mean, it's mostly actually way more basic than getting into nitty-gritty law. It's more like, here's the website where you file, here's where you go to get help to free file, understanding what the difference between a W-2 and a 1099 is, like understanding why you should file even if you aren't working. If you're like, for example, in school for the lifetime learning credit and stuff like that. So it's way more simple than that, but I do need to actually prep for it. I think we need some little bubble headers on this page. We don't need to switch to my face. We can just look at the page. Latitude says, I had a Tombow twin tone explode in my backpack, but it was pink, so my backpack now looks really cool. Oh my god. That's a lot, though. Whew. Do you want to see how I have way too many stickers, friends? Here, look at all these stickers I have. It's absolutely way too many stickers. I have cats riding bicycles now, though. I'm sure that's going to come in handy. It's really, like, absolutely way more. I have all these, like, stressed stickers. Look at these. This person who looks just like me. It's really a lot. Oh, you can say boo stickers all you want. None of the rest of us care. now I kind of want to use, yeah, there we go. I'm going to use the bubble letters here. And I think I have like header bubble letters somewhere. This is when you have too many stickers. When you're having trouble finding stickers that you know you have, this is probably a sign. It's okay. I'm going to stop buying stickers soon, I swear. Oh, I did do accounting last week. A lot of accounting. And therefore, I think I need to get to add the accounting cat. Latitude says, Lily, you're going to turn into a planner influencer and start getting free stickers. I mean, I'm low-key a planner YouTuber now. I'm sorry to admit that as much as I want people to care about, like, inflation and, you know, Roth IRAs, realistically, the planner content gets way more views. And, you know, I do this stuff anyway. So, sure. I don't know if I have an aesthetic enough style to really turn into a planner YouTuber, though. This is the real question. Okay. I cannot find the thing I'm looking for. So there's that. I really thought I had, like, header stickers. No one should own this many stickers. This is the real problem. Latitude says, you can sneak in the economic facts between the planner stuff. Yeah, that was like when I did a plan with me and I lured people in and then I explained how inflation works. So that's really the, you know, it's just like how my book is Cats Explaining Finance, and I just hope to lure people in with the cats and then get them to learn about finance. So it's really realistically the same thing. Literally no one should own this many stickers. I apologize for how many stickers I own. It's really a lot. Okay, we're gonna do one more look-see for the sticker I'm looking for. I'm sorry. I turned into one of those people. I used to not have this many stickers, and then it just kind of exploded out of control. There's almost too many pockets in the Hobonichi. Then you can kind of like lose the stickers that you're looking for if you have way too many stickers like I do. Okay, I can't find the things I wanted, and now I've officially spent too much time on the decorating and not enough time on the planning part, so I guess it's just gone forever. Guthrie says, as a proud sticker person, you definitely don't have too many stickers. I don't know about that. Okay. So what other things do we need to plan? Let's actually see. I don't know if my agent has COVID and had to move our meeting last week. So this planner meeting actually is about possibly designing an Oh My Dollar planner again, which we had a little budget planner in 2019 and finally sold out of them sometime last year, I believe. But there's a possibility. I'm talking with my distributor about collaborating with them on possibly making a planner. So that's what this meeting is about this week. So then I really do become a planner influencer, right? Okay, my schedule is extremely chill this week. The 100-day project begins on 100-day project begins on Sunday. This is a project where you do like some creative thing every day and you post about it on Instagram. I've done it previously before. I did 100 days of 100 days of quantified self art, which was very cool. It was a great way to like do some stuff. I hadn't really been on Instagram before then. I'm not going to say that I particularly love being on Instagram, although I do. Now that I have a planner Instagram where I only post planner content and I only follow planner people, it's kind of great. I go into that feed to de-stress because the planner stuff is just like so chill. It doesn't give me this like feeling that I'm not doing enough or working hard enough. Which is how the rest of Instagram feels to me. I just feel like, oh, I'm not making enough content. I'm not doing enough. Anyway, I am trying to figure out what to do for the 100-day project this year because I think I do want to do it again. But I don't want to overpromise. So yeah. Latitude says, ugh, seeing you plan makes me really want to buy the Hobonichi knockoff. It's just a weekly timed planner. Are you talking about the one on Amazon? I think I've linked to it before. Yeah, I think that so quite honestly, I'm so in love with the Jibun Days as a daily planner. Like it's working so well for me actually getting things done. Like what a planner is there for. But I still need to have a weekly overview that I'm trying to figure out if maybe at the end of this year, I'm pretty committed to like finishing out the Hobonichi. I actually have a Hobonichi cousin, so I really only need to be committed till July. And if I decide that I'm not digging it, I could sell the second half of the year because the Hobonichi cousin Avec is split into two booklets. So this booklet actually only goes through through July or through June 30th. So but I'm committed to at least finishing it there. But I think like next year I may actually stick with the Jibun Days and then get like an insert because they have a weekly insert from Hobonichi that you can put into other planners. And I really, really like the Hobonichi weekly layout. So there's a possibility I'll do that. I have this like perfectionist problem where I feel like I should have my planner system, so to speak, like locked in. I also never thought that I would 1, own this many stickers, 2, own this much washi tape, or 3, use 2 planners. Oh no, we just had one of the lights go out. I don't know which light. Is it this one? I think it's this one. I don't know. Is this still bright enough now that it went down? What's the white cat with the red stripes? Does he keep the planner closed? Absolutely not. It is just a clothespin, and I thought it was cute, and I put it on here. I don't go anywhere with my planner pretty much, so it's not super duper important for it to be, because I don't go, you just saw what my week looks like. I just don't go anywhere. It lives on my desk, and because of that, it's fine to have a bunch of stuff on it. This is so funny because this is very opposite what was important to me prior to the pandemic, but where I was working multiple jobs and I really needed a planner that I could like carry around a lot. This is still really like kind of my ideal size, but since I've started using daily pages, this is actually better. I can't actually fill up a full day with just to-dos when I attempt to do that. So yeah. Oh my dollar weekly hourly planner win. Well, I'll know more after this meeting on Tuesday about whether or not we're gonna talk through some prices. If we did it, we would get it printed here in the States just because there's so many issues right now with overseas printers. So like for my book, I printed it abroad, and then when I did the budget planner, actually I can grab, this is the last budget planner in existence. Well, where did Lily store it? Maybe not. Where did I put it? You know how like you usually think you're really organized and then all of a sudden you just have one of those moments? Okay, it was literally the first drawer I opened. It was just hiding under something. One of the last 2. So these are the little pocket budget planners that I did. And this is not a weekly planner, but these were printed here in Portland. They also had black and white insides, which I don't think is what I would end up doing. So this is, I guess I could use the overhead camera. I'm sorry that I just was like defaulting to showing it that way. So this is the little tiny pocket budget planner that we did. This was actually just an add-on for the Kickstarter, the second Kickstarter. There's also a color in cat tree of financial wellness in the back. And it has like color in personal finance merit badges. And it was super cute, good. Like it was meant to be able to take around and start doing some like entering your own expenses. And it was also just mainly to have something to do as an add-on for the Kickstarter. But after the Kickstarter, I still I think 250 of these, and my distributor picked them up and sold them. And I also sold some through my store, and we totally ran out of the print run. But I've wanted to do an actual time planner that kind of integrates the money and the planning side of it. So it's a discussion. We're gonna see if it makes sense. But if it does happen, we would probably launch for January 2023. So probably would announce it in November, maybe October. So yeah, that's what we would do if we do it. One of my concerns, oh, I'm very blurry. One of my concerns is that I just don't have the audience size to launch my own planner, because planners are really all about marketing. As much as we like to believe they're about the layout and everything, they are really all about marketing. And I don't think I have a large enough audience size in the planner world, nor do I want to spend all of my energy on marketing. But if I did it, I would be doing it with my distributor, which has a pretty large, sizable kind of platform of themselves. So Kenneth says, I'd be interested. What about printable spreads? I might do printable, but for me, the physical planner is what's interesting. The actual spread that I've built, so I designed a spread and everything for it. I've tried out a couple. I am giving to patrons. If we do it, I'm gonna kind of give printable versions of the spreads to my patrons to try out and give any feedback prior to going to print, because we're gonna have to go to print with these probably in July. Yeah, so speaking of plans that I need to make, there's just a lot of planning that is going. Latitude says, I will market to my 12 followers on WordPress. Oh, is this your book WordPress? A chip clip. He's so cute. I mean, I wish that it was a chip clip, but I feel like it's a little too, I don't think it's strong enough to be a chip clip. If they are chip clips, maybe we should be using them as chip clips, because we use binder clips as our chip clips. Lil Devette says, you can also try the Jibun Daily in the A5 slim size to go with the Hobonichi cousin. Yeah, that was kind of my thought. It was extremely accidental. I ended up using 2 planners this year. I kind of bought this because I was like, oh, the layout is so good. And I missed it last year. And I accidentally ended up starting using, I've never been a daily planner kind of person, but I found that I ran out of my weekly planner midway through last year. So last year I was using the Mossery twin book, and I kind of sillily got only a half year of the Mossery twin book. So I had a notebook on one side, and then I just had January through June on the other side. It was only $8 to get the second book from Mossery, but they only ship from Malaysia for the twin books, and there was no one kind of stocking it. And I consistently used the Mossery twin book. I really liked it, but I wasn't going to pay $30 in shipping from Malaysia to just get an $8 book. It just didn't feel reasonable to me. And so what I ended up doing was, for the rest of the year, I just switched to using my kind of daily journal, because I'm not much of a handwritten journal. I'm just not much of a journaler, to just being my to-do list. I really missed having a weekly view. And then after 3 months of that, I ended up buying a Hobonichi that someone had barely used to try it out for a couple months in, I think, October of last year, and really liked it. So I decided that I would do the Hobonichi for this year, but then I found this, and then I got kind of into it. Anyway, it's fine. I hate there's this part of me. Oh no, I just lost the planner on the floor. I may need some help here. There's this part of me that just hates the idea of switching planner systems. I want everything to be perfect. I don't know. It's silly. Let's try to finish this out here. So I got to pick colors for these things. So I do time blocking on the sides of my week. That is a bad week because that was a week I was sick. But yeah, this is I do time blocking, and I usually pick 4 colors. So I have like a studying color. I pick more colors than that when I had a day job, but so 1 for Oh My Dollar, 1 for skating, 1 for studying, and then sometimes I do a different one for studying German. So I like to pick them to match the washi tape. The downside of having these cool colors in the background is it can be really hard for me to figure out what colors my pens are. Okay. This pink, I think, is like a little too electric. Yeah, it's way too electric. So much for being a mild liner. You're not that mild. Very electric. And so this pink, and then like a green again. Let's do not light. It's not very light green. Is there a lighter green? I think gray would go with this. Latitude says aggressively thinking about the Mosseri Twin Book again. So the thing I will say about the difference between this and the Mosseri Twin Book, this is working. The Hobonichi is working really, really well for me, even compared to the Mosseri Twin Book, partially because it's 24 hours a day and it's just more flexible. I also really like the grid, like a lot. But your mileage may vary. You may not need a 24-hour spread. The Fuzzbubble says combo finance and time. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do it. Like, I have all these exercises in my book around like values and goal setting and stuff that I think could be very fun to do in a planner. The really big, this is like the supply chain problem with the planner, is that what I absolutely cannot stand spiral bound anything, but spiral bound is the best and most affordable way to put out a low volume planner. But I would want it to be book bound. I can't handle spiral bound. And so that's the big problem we run into. Maybe I'll do blue instead of the green. The green is kind of off. How about a light blue? There we go. We'll do a light blue. Okay, so skating will be blue because ice is blue. And that means I'll fill in the skate class. And studying, I'm going to be doing the most studying of anything, so I'll make studying pink. So it's like a nice bright color. And then, oh my dollar, I think I'll just be this chill gray. There we go. And do we need to add anything else to this list? Do I need to do a to buy list? Probably. Oh, I do need to do a meal plan. Realistically, I need to do a meal plan. And we should probably add some sort of, you know, we got my cat with the donut here for the live stream. It's great. And we're going to do a little this week in bubble letters for my meals. This is getting very like bright and colorful fun times here. All right, this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. What are we going to eat on Monday? I think we have to eat sweet potatoes because we are absolutely missing out on sweet potatoes. Oh, I'm picking up the Hobonichi knockoff. That's it. Hey, follow a link from the Oh My Dollar forums. I get an affiliate. If you're being appropriately influenced and you're buying it off Amazon, please click the link in the Oh My Dollar forums. So you can also just click any Amazon link in the Oh My Dollar forums and then navigate it to it if you can't find it. Just please do that. We're gonna eat nachos every single day. Is that what's happening here? I feel like that's not necessarily reasonable, but okay. Wait, which night are we gonna be watching? The men's free is on Wednesday, and also I'm teaching a workshop on Wednesday, so nachos kind of early in the week. I think that's the right day to do that. And then tomorrow, sweet potatoes. Tuesday, realistically, it'll probably be Brussels sprouts. Friday, stir fry. Who wants to bet we'll have nachos a second time on Saturday? If I'm really getting up at 3 a.m. What do we put on our nachos? We did a live stream where we ate nachos and we described them, and then I tried to explain what was happening with quantitative easing or something like that. I don't know. I tried to explain a very complicated concept to Erin quite a while ago. It's pretty simple. Soy riso. Mine has vegan cheese. Erin's has regular cheese. Corn chips and onions and bell peppers sautéed, and I think there's a nacho recipe somewhere as well. Oh, Erin found the nacho light. That was fast. And what else do we put? We put one other thing on it. There's like spices. Oh, sometimes we put beans if we're really motivated. But that's pretty much it. Latitude says, oh no, I can't find it because you started a new journal. I'll find an Amazon link. Just find any Amazon link. You can even find the Amazon link for the Hobonichi thing, paste it into the How Do You Planner thread, and then it'll turn into an Amazon affiliate link. You know, thank you for supporting Oh My Dollar if you're going to buy something on Amazon with like 50 cents or something like that. I think I'm like violating their terms of service right now by telling you to do that, but it's okay. Everything's fine. All right. We need to do a little bit of actual planning for this month, and I'm really struggling. I've been using the monthly spread as sort of like more of just my basics of what needs to happen or what happened that day. It's more like a kind of memories than that. And then for the Jibun Techo, I have actually been keeping track of what units I've been on. And so I think I might need to, I don't know if I want to put my goals because I've been recording what actually I worked on. I think I'm going to put my checkpoints that need to happen in here using my erasable pen, and then I'll just erase it when I haven't hit it. Okay, so I need to do the midpoint exam by Friday. And then I need to do mock exams starting there. And then my final mock exam will be on the 28th. Phew, really hope I pass this test, y'all. All right. And I think Latitude says the Amazon link I found was for a Pusheen donut mug. And you know what? I can also buy that. I still haven't bought that Pusheen donut mug, even though I feel like it would fit the... I really should get some sort of special mug for the Oh My Dollar. This is kind of an Oh My Dollar mug. I put stickers all over this. Oh My Dollar stickers all over this, all our cats. But I actually sell Oh My Dollar mugs that I don't have stocked. Fuzzbubble says, I don't use the monthly spread for planning, so I started using it as a gratitude journal and remember to write one thing in each day. Yeah, I actually ended up, I do record, so I've been kind of like recording key things. I've been using it as kind of like a cute habit tracker in that like, you'll see like whenever I post a blog post, I put those up there. When I post on Instagram, I post them. My shot days I put in here. And I used to put the shot in my weekly spread, but it's actually better for me to be able to see it here because I only take my shot once a week. So it's like easier to count than it is to go through my weekly spreads. It's a little chaotic, but I'm okay with that. It's better, my opinion, it's better than having literally nothing in my weekly spread, which I feel like is likely to happen otherwise. What other things do I need to do this month? So I'm going to be performing in a show on April 10th. So, show at Lloyd. So I'm doing like a skating show and I haven't actually choreographed a program. It's just like a little tiny show. So I don't need to stress too much about it, but I should choreograph the actual program. Choreo showpiece this month so that I can prep for it. And then one lesson with Ruth, one of the coaches, 100th live stream, then what's a spread? A page? A spread is 2 pages. So a monthly spread would be the overview of the month if you have it on 2 pages. And then a weekly spread would be like this. And then a daily spread would be like this. I wouldn't really call that a spread, but random notes about capitalization. And then my February goals, I have not really found a good thing to do for my overview page for the month yet, but I have these cute studying stickers, and pretty much all I'm doing this month is studying. So I figured I could put that in there. Yeah, let's just celebrate the fact that I'm doing lots of studying here. This is a Mark's Edit masty like perforated washi tape that has little headers on them, which is nice if you're not artistically inclined the way I am. I think we'll save this one for another one. It's like, I could draw that or I could just put this down. Okay. So this pretty much all I'm focusing on this month is studying month. That is my main focus. So, I'll put goal number 1. Prep for Series 65 exam. Goal number 2 is launch podcast feed again. Then goal number 3 publish edited YouTube video. I really want to do 2 videos this month, but we'll set the goal low and exceed it. Latitude says, I did a medical study, so I'm rolling in Amazon gift cards. Oh, yeah. The old, we're going to pay you in this so that you don't have to declare it on your taxes. A thing that I am also going to talk about. at the tax workshop I'm doing this month. Okay. I also have one other. I have like a skating related goal, which is choreograph this program. I think that's pretty good. Should I add some colors to that? Or should I just add more studying cats? Let's add more studying cats. Studying cats are the most important. I can't find my stickers again, y'all. I have too many stickers. We need an intervention. Oh, it is where I thought it was. What do we think? Which studying cat stickers? I kind of like that these cats are studying by themselves. There we go. It's me studying with my cat and then apparently another cat because I only have one, but there's two in the picture. I feel decently good about this. I kind of want to color these in, but I'm worried if I do it, it's going to not work out. You know, when you're like, it's not exactly what you want, but you don't want to make it possibly worse. And let's make my to-do list for tomorrow and then let's eat a donut, y'all. It looks so empty right now, but it'll be filled in at the end of this. I use it more as like a record of what needs to be done. Okay, let's fill in tomorrow's. I do need to buy I'm gonna put it on the list. Buy cartridge for pen. Because this one's gonna go, and I would also prefer to have a different color. It's kind of a boring color. You'll notice I pretty much don't do the to-do lists on the weekends in this book, and that's because I tend to not sit at my desk on the weekends, but I'm okay with that. I'm trying to get better at not being like all the planners must be filled in. Okay, so study talk 1. So I put all my to-dos like in this, and then in the mornings I usually estimate how long I think they will take me. And talk just means like a Pomodoro of 45 minutes or 50 minutes because I divide my studying up like that. Edit video. Invoice. Workshop. Stretch. PT. Monday is my shop day. And I should probably do slides for talk. And promo podcast. Oh, right. Confirm with Chaim. There we go. Oh, confirm with Fiona too. I think that's good. All right. Am I missing anything that didn't get transferred over? Nope. That's good. Cancel that. Buy cartridge for pen. 5 minutes. Study talk 1. 50, 50, 50, 50. Edit video, 2 hours. Invoice workshop, 10 minutes. Stretch, 30. PT, 10. Shot, 5. Slides for talk, probably 90 minutes. Promo takes like 20 minutes. 5. Great. There we go. To-do list is done for tomorrow. Should we eat a donut now? I think that concludes the planner portion of the evening. I feel like I did less planning than I felt like I was going to do, but I think we've been at it for actually a while. All right, now we have the overhead camera. So this is a cannoli donut. Oh, and we have a donut intro now. Donut time. Did it go?
No, wrong button.
Thrilling. Because apparently we talk about finances here. Does anybody even have a finance question? All right, here's the donut. It's chocolate, so we'll see if I like it. I'm not feeling optimistic, but I do like orange pieces. I like pistachios, and I like cream. I know, it's really a lot. Oh, there's enough almond in it that it's kind of cutting down the chocolate taste. It has kind of like a burnt taste to it. I think it's kind of like burnt pistachios on it, and it's really good. I'm enjoying this, and I don't like chocolate. If you liked chocolate, you'd probably love this donut. Here's the cream. I'm going to have some. Oh, the cream is heavenly. I don't know what it's made of because it's vegan cream. I think it doesn't really have a coconutty flavor, but it kind of seemed whipped enough to be coconut. The chocolate taste is it's like the final layer underneath several other layers of taste, and I can cope with that. Yes, me saying that I like a chocolate donut is high praise. I'm not really getting the orange taste yet. There's like candied orange pieces on the top. It's very hard to eat this politely. Ooh, I got some of the orange in there. So, to be honest, I would probably like this donut even more if it was just the pistachios, the cream, and the orange pieces, and we could just leave the chocolate off. But, considering it has chocolate on it, it's actually pretty good. I thought I brought it in a napkin, but now I can't find it. It's really quite the donut. Dean says this sounds like a 5 out of 5 to me. It's really hard for me to rate a chocolate donut as a 5. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I am going to finish it, and it's a chocolate donut. You might be right. I also didn't eat a proper lunch, so me finishing this donut should maybe not be seen as a 5 out of 5 endorsement. I'm hungry. And clearly donuts are dinner. Oh, do we have some actual finance questions going on in here? Oh, there's some cream on the plate, and the cream was good enough. I'm going to finish it. That was delicious. All right, let's do a little bit of talking about taxes. Maybe not talking about, maybe acknowledging that contractor taxes are hard. And then flu for the week. And then I think we're done unless people have questions about the Olympics and I can deliver some snark. It is a chocolate donut, but it has layers of other things going on. So I did finish it though. The cream is incredible. And I like the little candied orange pieces. So Latitude says that they have to do contractor taxes this year, and I have enough money set aside, but I've never done them before, and I'm afraid. Don't freak out too much. Also, the live stream that I ended up having to change the topic because I was sick was supposed to be on contractor taxes. And I've already done a presentation on it and like done all the prep work for it. So I should probably do that at another live stream. However, next week I have a guest, so it wouldn't be the weekend until the week after. Damn. Maybe I could do it a different day. Don't be too freaked out by it. The main thing, one, I found Free Tax USA. That's what I used for doing my taxes last year. I found it surprisingly good at 1099 taxes for contractors. The big thing that you want to be aware of, especially if you already have the money saved, is just don't overlook the things that you can deduct that you can't deduct if you're not 1099, because I think a lot of people don't really know exactly what a lot of people don't really know exactly what they can deduct for 1099 taxes, but like you can take a home office deduction if you work from home and you use it exclusively for business, even if it's just like based on your rent and the square footage of your desk or the percentage of utilities. That you can do like a simplified square footage deduction, which you cannot do even if you were forced to work from home as a W-2 employee this year. It used to be that you could, but they changed that in 2019, right before our pandemic, unfortunately. So you can do home office deduction. If you pay for your own health insurance, you can write off the cost of your premiums as a self-employed person. If you contribute to a traditional IRA or any kind of retirement account, if you don't have access to one through a W-2 employer, then you are able to write off your contributions as essentially above the line on your Schedule C. So there are a lot of ways to reduce the total taxable income that you have for your 1099 that you might not realize. Like if you utilize office supplies as part of for work, right? So I push it a little bit with some of the stickers that I get for planners, but most of those are in fact office supplies and work deductions for me. So just don't overlook the things that you're able to deduct. If you have bought equipment like laptops or iPads or software that you use for work, those are also deductions for you. It's very possible, if you didn't earn a ton of money as a contractor, that some kind of routine expenses that you are used to paying, you will be able to deduct and get your total income from your 1099 down to zero, in which case you will not have to pay most of the taxes on it. So just be like very, very aware of that when it comes to doing your taxes. Like I think a lot of people really overlook how much they can deduct, especially their first year doing contractor taxes. So if you're in that kind of lower end of what what you've earned, there is a lot that you can deduct. That being said, if you get a fair amount of benefits from your day job, like if you have access to a 401k or workplace retirement plan through your day job, If you have access to employer-sponsored health insurance through your day job, even if you are not utilizing it, you would not be able to deduct quite as much on your 1099, but you can still deduct all of those business expenses other than that and the home office deduction. So that's the like thing that I just really feel like a lot of people get so freaked out about having to make sure that they're saving and everything when it comes to contractor taxes that they overlook how many opportunities there are to really reduce your taxable income. Also, if you do want to save for retirement and you have some of those extra savings and you still have some amount of profit in your business, you can still contribute for last year to a SEP IRA, which is a simplified employee pension, which is a self-employed type of retirement plan. And you can contribute for last year, and that would lower your taxable income from your business. So you can contribute 20% of up to 20% of what your profit is in your business. And if you're on the lower income side of things, like below around 30,000 to 40,000 for an individual, it phases out at a bit. You also qualify for the Savers Credit, which means you actually get money back on your taxes. It's a refundable tax credit based on your proportion of what you saved for retirement. So even small amount of savings for retirement, like, $100 that year, that means you'll get an extra $50 back at tax time if you're low income. So there's a lot of huge advantages that you can take. If you're interested in learning more about the Savers Credit, I've definitely done a live stream on it. I've also done a podcast episode called The Government Will Pay You to Save for Retirement. If you are on the lower income side of the spectrum and you also have some 1099 income, there are amazing ways to utilize just starting to contribute to your retirement. And once again, you can contribute, you can do your taxes, run the numbers, and then figure out what percentage you can actually contribute because it is profit. So it can't just be your total gross amount. If you're taking these deductions, those are going to come out as expenses. But say you made $1,000 in contractor income, and then you had $200 that you spent on pushing office supplies that are a reasonable business expense. And those are your only expenses that you deducted. Well, then you'd have $800 of profit in your business. So 20% of that, which would be $160, you could put into a SEP IRA for last year. So you get to choose which contribution year you want to set it up for, and you could actually contribute for last year. You can't contribute to employer plans this year for last year, but you can contribute to individual retirement plans for the previous tax year. So you can actually calculate out, do your taxes, run the taxes, don't file them yet, but run them in whatever online software you're using, Free Tax USA, whatever. Make sure you follow the link from the IRS website so you get free file. But run it, figure out what 20% is, and then you can contribute for last year, and you'll also qualify for the Savers Credit. I just have a lot of enthusiasm for, I think it can be really, really hard to emphasize saving for retirement when you're lower income. But the Savers Credit makes it so much easier to do. And it's kind of like when you're self-employed, it's kind of like the equivalent of getting an employer match, right? Like you're getting like this extra boost from the government instead of from your employer giving you like 4% of what you contribute to your 401k. The government is giving you 50% of what you put in. It could be as low as 10% depending on your income. It kind of phases out up to around 41,000, I believe. But yeah, anyway, I love all the exclamation points that are coming from Latitude. Anyway, yes, good luck filing your taxes. I should most definitely do a proper live stream all about freelancer taxes. We had to like change the live stream because I was not feeling well. So we ended up changing the topic, but, let's do Floof of the Week. Anybody else have any other finance questions they want to do? I'm going to go watch figure skating after this. I am going to be behind on watching figure skating, but we probably for the ladies events, next week, I'm going to be doing, if you're part of the Oh My Dollar Discord, which is for our patrons, and also some, we originally set it up and it wasn't patron only, so there's some other people that are in it. But if you're part of the Oh My Dollar Discord, or if you join the Patreon and become part of the Oh My Dollar Discord, we're probably going to be doing voice chat during at least one or two of the figure skating events this week. So if you're like a casual figure skating viewer and you want to hear what I think is witty commentary, you can feel free to join in that. I will definitely send out a Patreon announcement about it. I'll probably put it on the forums as well. And reminder, if you want to know about the live streams, we now have this experimental, hope it works, textcrew.ohmydollar.com SMS alerts to let you know when we're going live, especially if I start doing live streams at other times. So, yeah. I think my mom is trying to remind me that we now have Floof of the Week intro music. Are you trying to get me to share my screen? I'm working on it, but we need the intro music. So this is our floof. This floof's name is Sienna, and Mojo submitted it. She says, "This is Sienna. She's my friend's cat, but I think about her half my waking hours. She's just barely not a kitten anymore and has resting existential crisis face." Look at this. Look at this. Look at this resting existential crisis face. So cute. For some reason, I can't zoom in. But I do think, yes, this is all of us in 2020 through 2022, right here. Just contemplating. Is this our life? Oh, that tail. Oh, I didn't even notice the tail. Oh, yes, look at that. That's a raccoon tail. It's a kitten raccoon tail. It's like Dora. Oh, yeah, we have cat cam, too. She also has a little, but it's not as floofy as Sienna's tail here. And the whiskers. It's just very, yes. Look at the face, though. It's just like, what am I doing here on this earth? Yes, total feline. Don't call it ringtail, because it makes me think of ringworm. I think raccoon tail is better. Trash pandas. Trash panda tail. Someone said something that was actually relevant and wasn't just about floofs, but I don't know what it was. Oh, Latitude asked if I've considered live streams on Saturdays. So we did live streams on Saturdays, I know, for like a year and a half, but when we switched to Sundays, we got way better turnout. Question for you, though. We may move them up to 4 p.m. Is that going to make it harder or easier for you to attend if they were Sundays at 4 p.m. Pacific? So that would be at 7 p.m. Central. Let me know if that would be easier or better. It'd be 7 Eastern, so it'd be 6 Central. So if that is easier, let me know. Oh, Latitude says easier. Interesting. Maybe YouTube knows that. So the whole reason we're contemplating switching to the 4 p.m. live stream time, which I'm like really hesitant to switch again because we've now had 2 live stream times. But I'm considering doing it because YouTube literally told me that most of my subscribers are on at 4 p.m. on Sundays and that it would be a good time to live stream. And I was like, oh, I already do it at 5 p.m. So maybe there's like a correlation causation problem going on there, which is like people that attend my live streams are more likely to be on in the hour before I start live streaming. So like, I don't know, but I thought it would be kind of interesting. Dean says the governor of the Bank of England said no one should ask for a pay rise due to inflation, but he earns over 575,000 pounds a year, which made people cross, understandably. Okay, that's part one of the question, because that is not a question. That does just make me angry. Latitude says, we usually eat here at 8 p.m. and everyone is home on Sundays, so I do enjoy spending time with them on Sundays. I mean, enjoying spending time with people in real life is a good thing. My mom asked, are they on watching something else? I'm not sure. Also, I just want to point out that, like, no one should ask for a pay rise due to inflation is, like, the opposite of... They're like, your purchasing power has gone down, therefore you should not ask for a pay rise. I will also say that the, like, not asking for a pay rise due to inflation, the theory that is posited here is what a lot of macroeconomists are kind of afraid of, which is wage push inflation, which essentially is exactly what it sounds like. Rather than inflation being driven by prices or interest rates, there is a concern that if you push up wages, it will push up prices with regard to inflation. However, we have every piece of evidence that the reason that prices are so high and the reason we're experiencing so much inflation right now is the combination of two things. Expansion of the monetary supply, which happened in the UK, it happened in the US, which is essentially when we had all this free-flowing government money to try to control the pandemic. If you expand the monetary supply, you end up with inflation. The second thing is the lowering of interest rates. That is another way to expand the monetary supply, because lower interest rates mean people are more likely to borrow, which does increase inflation. If you have lower interest rates, you have more inflation. So, here's the thing. It isn't wage push inflation. It's due to supply chain shocks. We have runs, we have a supply demand issue going on right now with supply chain shocks. It's hard to get things. We have a chip shortage. We're seeing prices rise in really specific areas. It is not wage push. It is not wage push. So, yes. I mean, also, screw that guy. I'm assuming a guy. I do not actually know who the governor of the Bank of England is, which I feel like I should probably know. But, like, it isn't, like, we're not seeing prices rise because the price of inputs are going up so much, wage inputs necessarily. So people should be asking for pay rises due to inflation because it is price push. And it is interest push inflation. And if it is price push inflation, that means you're losing purchasing power parity because essentially the price level has gone up for everything, which means that the same amount of money buys less, which is what happens during inflation. And therefore, we do want wages to rise. Everybody wants to get inflation under control. Like, no one likes the current situation that we're having. That being said, everyone seems to be stepping back a lot on, there are plans to step back right now. Omicron did put a slight damper on some of the central bank's plans, but it looks like the Federal Reserve here in the US, the Bank of England, like, it really does look like we're seeing the price for gilt bonds, which are Great British Pound denominated bonds. Those prices are essentially dropping, which is what you see happen when interest rates change. So it seems good. Oh my God, the governor of the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey, says we can do our bit to help battle rising inflation by not asking for wage increases. I vote down on that. I will say that I very poorly said, especially for someone that makes so much money. And I, in my not a full-time macroeconomist, would make the argument that we have every piece of evidence that the current inflation that we are experiencing has a lot more to do with this dude's job than it does with other people asking for wage increases. But I understand where he's coming from, because wage push inflation is a thing. It does exist. Which is, the arguments that, like, if you are where we're seeing the most wage increases right now, especially in the United States, is in the lowest paid quartile of workers. So we're seeing it in service workers. We're now seeing, because there is a labor shortage for a lot of service industry jobs, which tend to be the lowest quartile of workers. That means that wages are being raised in order to attract workers right now. And like the big and interesting thing that we kind of have going on is this fear that if we pay lowest quartile of workers, the lowest paid workers more, oh, well, then the price of hamburgers are going to go up because when they flip hamburgers, then they get paid $15 an hour. But it's really just not as compelling of an argument as one could make, because we're seeing that the prices are moving in places where the labor hasn't gone up. So prices are moving up in areas where the wages are more controlled by unions. They haven't been rising at the same rate. So yeah. And also a lot of people in certain sectors are getting wage increases anyway because they have cost of living increases built into their salaries, which is a nice thing to have if you can have it. But yeah. Cheryl says, if they are on at 4 but watching something else, the change won't work. Plus, I fear never making Sunday at 4 except in December and January when it's dark here. Yeah, that was Aaron's concern, is if we move at 4 p.m., it's going to be like impossible on Sundays for the West Coast. I think it might still be okay on Sundays. That was the big reason we moved off Saturdays, was that we started having really dropping live stream numbers once the summer hit, because, even on the East Coast, 8 p.m. on a Saturday is like, you're not going to sit down and watch a live stream in the summer because you're going to be out doing things. Also, we had that brief moment in the summer where we all had lives again, and it kind of seemed like the pandemic was calm for a little bit pre-Delta. I know it wasn't quite the same for people in the UK, but yeah. Yeah, I think we are gonna go head out myself to watch skating. If you are interested in getting SMS notifications, we're just trialing this to see if this kind of helps with the fact that it can be hard to remember when the live streams come. I'm not going to spam you or anything. I'll try to make them short and sweet. But text crew at ohmydollar.com. And as currently the plan is to do the next live stream at 5 p.m. on Sunday. And we are 2 live streams away from our 100th live stream. So hopefully you tune in for that one as well. I will see you all next week. Please stay safe, stay hydrated, and pet a cat if you have one available. Cheers.